Hey guys, welcome to this Jersey Girls home. I'm Vicky. We are going to go over the pantry. I'm going to give you a tour, show you what we've accomplished from our Every Bit Counts challenge and what I plan to keep doing. Before we start our tour downstairs, I wanted to show you all of the jars that I filled up with freeze-dried and dehydrated herbs. As well as my dehydrated vegetables like peppers and tomatoes. There is 45 jars so far, and there will be more coming because we're still not done with the garden season. So let me give you a full-blown tour. If you know anything about being hangry, it's not good. So don't go hangry. Build a pantry. I have put up so many jars of food that I actually ended up having to reorganize what I had going. You're gonna see it's a little different than it was a month ago, and that is just because I've accomplished a lot in this past month and I had to make room for it to all flow well together. So I had freeze-dried some cooked beans, and I will not do that again. It wasn't worth it. I prefer to just have them made in cans in the jars and then just cook them from there. There was no reason, it wasn't worth freeze drying them. I put these out so that I will get them used up quickly, and then I will not do this part again. So anyway, we have instant black-eyed peas, instant cranberry beans, instant Great Northern beans, instant black beans. I have some extra space because remember, I'm not done preserving. The preservation challenge was for August, but I still have tons of produce coming in. I have tons of produce that I froze because I didn't have time to get to it yet, and I still need to. So there is still going to be empty space on these shelves, and they are going to get filled up eventually. This is also a working pantry. We are eating it, so as we fill it up, we're also still taking from it. It's kind of just like a revolving door down here. This is the food we eat. It's our grocery store. So now this is mostly my syrups. This is blackberry syrup, and these do really good if you want to mix them in with drinks or make ice cream with them, flavor things. This is peach syrup, and this was made with peach scraps. This is strawberry syrup. This is Sunday in a jar syrup, and this is not meant to flavor drinks with. It is not liquidy. As you can see, it's not coming down. It is a soft set, and it is really good on ice cream. It is really good on pancakes, waffles, French toast. It's very delicious. Anywhere you would use maple syrup, pancake syrup, or want to have hot fudge kind of consistency. This is apple cinnamon syrup. This is lemon ginger pear syrup. This is from preserves that I made, and this was just leftover juice that I canned. Red wine pickling vinaigrette, which is left over from the banana peppers, the pickled banana peppers that I made. Some cowboy candy marinade, but this one is hot. So I've separated, because I only have 2 small jars, I've separated them so that we don't get the wrong jar at the wrong time. Sugar plum hot sauce. You can see it's quite liquidy. This was the first year making it. We haven't had it yet. I like my condiments to sit on the shelves for at least a month before I open them so that the flavors can all blend together and marinate well. This is peach pie filling, strawberry rhubarb pie filling, apple pie filling, sour cherry pie filling, cranberry juice, and apple scrap juice. These are not things that we actually have been using a lot of. I thought they would be a good idea. We tried them. They're fine. We just don't tend to pick from them. I will not make a lot of pie fillings anymore, and I won't really make juices like this because I don't know. They don't taste that great. I use them as flavorings, and I've used this apple juice with rice to make an apple flavored rice when I made dog food. You can use it to add extra flavor to things, but as far as totally drinking this wasn't something that we ended up preferring. Here are some of my common jams and jellies that we use. Plum jelly, such a pretty color, very flavorful. Peach jelly, these were from my peach tree last year. Peach jam, strawberry jam, which I have not made more yet this year. We are getting very low, and I do have strawberries in the freezer. I just have not had time to make it yet, but we will be doing that. I have an empty spot for grape jelly because that is something that I want to make and I have not made it yet. Black raspberry jam, which is so dark, but it is so yummy. We like this on sandwiches. We also really like to make ice cream with this. That is probably one of my absolute favorites to do with this. Plum jam, sour cherry jam, and sour cherry jams, the sour one, has a little bit of a bite to it as far as not being the sweet cherry jam. It is a little different. And I do eventually want to get a sweet cherry jam on my shelves, but I really like to use the sour cherry jam in ingredients. There's a cherry barbecue ribs that I like to make, and this is my go-to for that, which is why I have it. And there are a few other things that I can't think of off the top of my head, but there are some meals that I like to put this in and ways to use this up that I wouldn't want sweet cherry jam for. This was a try last year, was red currant and raspberry jam. Is red raspberries, red currants. I should have taken the seeds out. I didn't, and you're kind of like you're getting seeds in your mouth each time. So it is yummy, but if I would make it again, I would not do it exactly the same way. And back here is just a mixture of red and black raspberries that I had left over. Just back there just to use up because we didn't have enough for a whole pectin amount. Down here is more of our specialty jams. This is pepper jelly. It is so pretty, and if I had shaken this up, it would have mixed up, but I got distracted. That happens around here. Honey lemon apple jam, which, whew, this is a must-have. If you haven't made this, you have got to try it. Now, love to do with this is make chicken and turkey with it. Last year, when I made my Thanksgiving turkeys, I had more than 25 people here. It was almost 30 people. And so I made two pretty large turkeys. I smeared this all over the outside. It was so delicious. I only have a few half pints of this left, so I'm going to be making more this year as well. I have honey pear jam, which I was thinking the same concept with, was to make other things with it. This is a good flavor base or flavor profile to add to marinades, glazes, lots of different savory items is what I would clean on that one with. Gooseberry jam, not gonna make this again. We did not prefer it. We don't like it. I'm slowly working my way through sneaking it in things to get it used up. Cantaloupe jam. It does taste like a creamsicle, but as you can see, it was really hard to get it to set. So this is something I use to make ice cream. Again, I don't know if I would do it again or not, we'll see. But so far I would not bother. It wasn't worth putting something on my shelf for it. It's taking up space that I'd prefer something else to be there with. I'd rather something we are gonna grab more often. All right, this was a new one this year, strawberry jalapeno jam, and it's a keeper. We are in love with it. We have thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a party the past weekend and put it on cream cheese and had pretzels and crackers out with it, and my mouth is starting to water just thinking about it. Maybe we should go eat some. Strawberry rhubarb jam, of course, because why not? Apricot jam, because I had to buy apricot jam over the winter and it was ridiculously expensive. So guess what? I made my own for a fraction of the price. Strawberry kiwi jam, which it's a little bit of like soft set, but I'm excited. I love it. It tastes so good. It may be a keeper. I'm not positive yet because we just made it this past June. But so far we like it. It's very delicious. Orange rhubarb marmalade. So good. And that one was really easy to make considering I have regular orange marmalade and it is not easy to make. It is very time consuming. It tastes delicious. It's definitely worth it,
but very time consuming. Down here I have some fruit preserves and random fruit things, butters and sauces. So let's get through that. Pear preserves. This is cinnamon lemon pears. Remember we had some leftover syrup from, I think that's this one though. Lemon ginger pear preserves and vanilla peach topping. Strawberry honey butter, delicious. Peach butter, apricot butter, Christmas jam, and cranberry sauce. These are all delicious. They're all keepers in my book, and we will keep making them. I'm not sure what's going here yet, but I do have some other things on my list that I have not gotten to yet, so I need to make sure I do still have room. Bottom row, sweet tea peaches. So good, so delicious. I made 3 batches of it now because we tried it at the party this past weekend and it was absolutely amazing. And I made a drink with it. I dumped this pint of sweet tea peaches in a pitcher with a quart of plain black tea and it was perfect. It tasted like Snapple peach tea. Thank me later. Pears and syrup, honey oranges, pineapple and turbinado sugar or brown sugar flavoring, crushed pineapple and chopped pineapples, apple butter, applesauce, and apples and syrup, or what I like to refer to as Cracker Barrel apples.
Recording.
We'll start at the top, work our way down again. Mushroom soup that I use to make cream of mushroom soup. And I will be coming out with a video on this soon. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I will, I promise. Ham broth, marsala wine sauce, chicken broth. And as you can see, these are all chicken broth, but they are different colors. They were made from different chickens that had different seasonings on them. So that is why they are different colors. Soup broth that was left over from soup that I made. Beef bone broth. And again, you can see the different color variations. They're from different batches and different seasonings, different bones, different meats. Just depends on your seasonings and what you use. But they're all the same thing. They all taste delicious. Over here is now my bean shelf. As you can see, this half is pretty good. Back here, I am really low on black beans, but I want to have 2 rows of black beans, so I made sure to space that in there, and then I will add more beans to the shelf. The pink beans, cannellini beans, black beans, northern beans, and pinto beans. And I will fill up the shelf this winter, pressure canning more beans. This is just such an easy thing to do, and it is a third of the price to, I think it's at least a third of the price to do them yourself and have them than to buy the jars pre-made at the store. All right, we have beets, potatoes we haven't done yet. We just harvested potatoes from the garden. So between those potatoes and the potatoes going on sale soon for the holidays, that is when I will tackle all of my potatoes. Down here we have some veggies. This is peach corn salsa, corn, carrots, and these are herbed carrots. Balsamic noodle beans that we made, and our green beans. We have cowboy candy. And if you watched my pepper video, I have some other peppers in here mixed in. These are sweet peppers that I did over the winter because we ran out of cowboy candy and we really like it on our pizza and tacos, even on burgers, and it's really good. So I made sure I had enough of that this year. These are maple pickled jalapenos, pickled banana peppers, regular pickled peppers, zucchini relish, which I did not have to make any this year. We still had some left over from last year. And our zucchini harvest was not very good this year because we were inundated with squash bugs. I tried a couple things. It seems like it was working, and then explosion of them, and then my plants were gone. I made French cornicons with some of the silver slicer pickles, and there was someone who said they used those and that they worked great. They're really mushy, so I don't know. I won't do that again. I really did not prefer the silver slicers though. I feel like there's a lot of other cucumbers that I definitely prefer. I definitely prefer the White Wonder cucumbers over the silver slicer by far. I couldn't find the seeds in time to use for this year's garden, but I did find some and I have them for next year. But silver slicer was just not my, it did really good in the heat, but it's just not my favorite cucumber. Sweet and sour dill pickles, bread and butter pickles, more bread and butter pickles. And these ones are the silver slicers, so we'll have some soggy pickles, but that's only a few jars have that one. And then sweet pickles. Drum roll, please. We have about 12 pasta jars upstairs that I filled our upstairs cabinet with. We have these 2 rows and I need to fill the rest of this up. I do still have tomatoes coming in and there's like definitely a new harvest that's starting to ramp up again. But I did get a lot of stuff canned. I didn't just make pasta sauce. I also made Italian style tomato sauce. So we have that. We made vodka sauce. I still have plenty more to make. This is cranberry ketchup, Dijon mustard, peach ale mustard, plum sauce, Stampede style barbecue sauce, sweet and sour barbecue sauce, peach barbecue sauce, apple barbecue sauce. And I really, really, really like making homemade condiments and canning them for our shelves. So I'm constantly looking and scouring for different kinds to try because once you make them, they last pretty long. Like the peach barbecue sauce, I made a couple batches. I think 2 or 3 batches last year because we had so many peaches. I won't have to do that for a while, but it saves us so much money to not buy all of our condiments and to have them made. Plus, they're so much better for you than if you were to buy them at the store because there's no high fructose corn syrup in my jars and there is definitely no odd chemicals. They are all homemade ingredients and spices. So that's what's in there. Now this row is meals, pre-made meals. We have chipotle beef for tacos, beef stroganoff, beef stew, chili, hearty chicken stew, chicken curry, chicken and gravy. We have some more meals that are more like soups. Minestrone soup, Cajun lentil soup, which is one of our new favorites. You can also make this with black-eyed peas and stuff. It's so good. French onion soup. And I have it in small jars and large jars for dinner or lunch. Serving. Black bean soup. Loaded potato soup. Eggplant puttanesca. And then we have a little bit of more pickled stuff. Sauces and salsa. Mini salsa, which was one of the first things we made in the Every Bit Counts challenge. Heirloom salsa. House salsa. Yellow tomato basil jam. Red tomato jam. Sloppy Joe mix. Enchilada sauce, cacciatore simmer sauce, ajvar, which is an eggplant pepper spread, pickled red onions, and pickled celery. And that is my home canned products. I want to show you on the bottom here is all flour, sugar, salt, oats, baking things that I buy in bulk at Costco. I stock up and fill these containers with those. I'm not going to move them right now because they're very heavy. But yes, it's salt, sugar, white sugar, brown sugar, oats, bread flour, lots of flour because we bake a lot from scratch. So we have a lot of baking supplies. In here, we have more of our long-term food storage, like shredded chicken. We have raw eggs, penne vodka, Granny Smith apples, lots of eggs. We also have avocados, corn, lots of random yummies in here. Anything that's going to go bad, I will freeze dry. And if I have a decent supply in jars for us already, then I put the rest in Mylar. Over here, I just have canning lids that I buy. When I have a chance, I buy what I can and put them over here so that we not only not run out, but we just have a supply of them because it's something we do all the time. I'm constantly canning stuff. It's not just during the Every Bit Counts challenge, although that is the only time I think I will ever do it every single day for a month straight. September 1st, did not preserve a thing. I took a nice break, and that was definitely enough of a refresher. And then yesterday was Labor Day. I cleaned this pantry. I got all the jars put up, and then I made more sweet tea poached peaches. So I only had one day off so far, but we're working on that. We got stuff to put away. We can't waste things. Okay, so these here are jars of dry beans. I buy them in bags, whatever I can find that I want. I will buy them and then I lump them in jars because they're in my basement, and I just in case any like mice get down here or something, I don't want them to open my bag, or I don't want the bag to rip and then expose to dust or whatever. So they're in jars to keep them safe. Kidney beans, black-eyed peas, black beans, pinto beans, cannellini beans, large lima beans, and baby lima beans, mixed beans, Roman beans, as well as cranberry beans, pink beans, canary beans, navy beans. My last shelf, I have green split peas and green lentils, red lentils, yellow split peas, and French lentils. There are still some things that we buy from the store that go on storage. And we have our condiments up here, ingredients. What?
So your favorite, A1 steak sauce.
A1 steak sauce. And then this is fruit that I've been slowly trying to use up. It is very hard once you start canning stuff yourself to then decide to eat store-bought. So we have lots of jellied cranberry sauce because I made it and I'm better at it than the store. Here's some vegetables, some things like I don't grow, things we just need to use up because they were purchased before we made them. So even if we do have them made and we have them over here, it was because it was purchased prior to me ever making them, and we need to use them up as well. Down here we have pre-made beans, refried beans, pickles, and sauerkraut. Over here is my sweetener tower, I like to refer to it as, because it has maple syrup, turbinado sugar. I'm sorry, this is not maple syrup, pancake syrup, maple syrup, light corn syrup, which I really only ever use this once a year for Christmas stuff. Otherwise, I don't really use it, but they don't actually make this big container in it anymore. I got that from Aldi's like a while ago. And then honey that I really like, the Kirkland wildflower honey from Costco. And what I'll do is I'll buy the plastic container of it and then I just disperse it through my glass jars. It's easier to get it out of and it doesn't seem to crystallize in there like it will a plastic container. I have vinegar, baking soda, and balsamic vinegar down there. In here, I have my freeze-dried jarred stuff that is not upstairs. Here is my vegetables and fruit. Corn, citrus, apples, wild blueberries, and bananas. Basically, if I ran out of freezer room or I had stuff that needed to get saved so it didn't go bad, I put it up here. Freeze-dried ground beef is awesome. My daughter loves it. She dumps it in a little pot of water and can easily have her ground beef for pasta that my sons do not like. Some shredded chicken, ricotta cheese, eggs, dehydrated zucchini, and lavender. There's just some random stuff in here, plus a freeze-dried apple package and then we just have empty jars here. Napkins, and again, more store-bought stuff that we use and buy in bulk. When electrolyte drink mixes go on sale, I will buy them. I also have a thing of tea in there. Ziploc bags, because we buy in bulk. Our canned milk option, so evaporated milk, coconut milk, condensed milk, more evaporated milk. Just the stuff that you use for baking. Chocolate chips, popcorn, a couple soups, salmon, chicken, other meats and proteins that are canned, pickling salt, mayonnaise, tomato paste, baking papers like parchment paper, aluminum foil, and plastic wrap. Our oils. So these are the olive oils that I like to use from Costco. Coconut oil, vegetable oil, and those I don't really ever use. I have them as a backup for when I could not find olive oil and vegetable oil on the shelves. So I had started to use this when I had no other option, and then I got my other stuff and I haven't really been using it. So this is more of like my prepper pantry storage, and I just have a small supply. In here, I have some vanilla beans that I like to get from Costco and some more just random spices that I've gotten because we go through a lot of spices, a lot of cooking. We make a lot of stuff from scratch. So when you do that, you do go through things quite quickly. We always like to have a good supply on hand. Oh, this one smells good. Smell it. We have baking cocoa, cheap vanilla options, because before I started making my own vanilla, this is typically what I would buy, and then I ended up buying real vanilla extract from Costco, and now I just buy the vanilla beans and make it myself. Made moves in this world, but I'm not going to throw it away, so it's here if we need it. I got these on clearance for like 20 cents at the end of last year after the holiday season. So always keep your eyes open. Sometimes you'll get really good deals, and so I grabbed 5 of them because there was a ton of them. So I spent $1. Gluten flour, Vital Wheat gluten flour, which I use to make bread flour when I don't want to use my regular bread flour because it is more expensive. So you just like a little bit of this in with your flour. It raises the protein level and makes for a lighter crumb. You can use it for bread, pizza, anywhere that you would want a soft dough with higher gluten. Nutritional yeast. And before I had a freeze dryer, I had bought this, which is an egg equivalent. I really don't think it works that good, but we've tried it. Unflavored gelatin and dry milk. So this is our downstairs. And we still have our high chair for all my favorite little nieces and nephews to come and visit me. We love our family. We're always prepared. This is my downstairs bulk Homestead pantry that I have all my stuff in that we source our needs from. We carry what we need upstairs when we want it, or we just come down here and get it straight from the shelves. We do have lots of kitchen cabinet space. We do have our snacks and everyday items upstairs. Most of our extra stuff is all stored down here because we do a lot of scratch cooking, a lot of baking, a lot of homemade foods. We do go through ingredients very quickly, and it just makes sense to have as much as we can on stock so that we can make what we want to eat. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If there's anything you're interested in me making that I haven't said I was going to make, let me know. I still do have quite a bit on my list of things I want to can. I still want to can more spaghetti sauce. I want to make strawberry jam, berry cherry jam. I need more plum sauce. I want to make some onion jams. So either a balsamic onion jam or a double onion marmalade is something I've been eyeing up. I'm going to be making roasted tomato soup soon. I found a cranberry apple mustard recipe that I'm very interested in trying. My one son absolutely loves maraschino cherries, and I found a recipe on how to make that and can it. I am going to be trying that soon. There is a roasted rustic pasta sauce that I want to try making, as well as sweet pear caramel, glazed carrots, and I have lots of tomatillos to deal with. We are going to try roasted tomatillo, chipotle salsa, and an Aztec chicken soup. We dehydrated a ton of peppers, tomatoes, and spices that we'll be dealing with soon. I want to do a vegan gumbo because I grew okra this year, and that was something I really wanted to try, and I don't like shrimp, so I wanted something different and I found a vegan gumbo, so I'm excited to try that. I also wanted to try Papa's barbecue, by-water barbecue sauce. And there are a few other things on my list, but again, let me know in the comments if there's something you're interested in seeing me make for my Homestead shelves still. I know we've spent like a huge month of it, and I don't know if you guys are ready to move on to other things. I will be recording other options as well, but if there's anything you're interested in on preserving, just let me know and I will make sure to get you covered. All right, have a great day and I will see you again soon. Bye.